Breaking El Clásico transfer war. Real Madrid are reportedly planning a shock move for one of Barcelona's brightest La Masia gems, 15-year-old Ebrima Tunkara. Los Blancos, who have recently intensified their youth-focused strategy with signings like Arda Güler, Endrick and Mastantuono, are now targeting a rising star whose contract expires in 2026. Meanwhile, Barcelona are fighting hard to keep their next big prospect, offering a renewal as Real Madrid prepare a financially superior proposal that could pull the teenager to the Bernabeu. But that's not all. Today's video also covers the 3 things you missed from Barcelona's emotional comeback at the newly renovated Spotify Camp Nou, the fans' harsh reaction to Nico Williams after the summer transfer saga, the spectacular fireworks and lighting show marking Barca's historic homecoming, plus Barcelona's tough decision on Vgilli, a former La Masia talent whose value is exploding at Mallorca. This is a massive El Clásico-packed update you don't want to miss. Real Madrid eyeing shock move for 15-year-old Barcelona talent, report. While Barcelona's idea has always been to grow talents from the grassroots levels and mold them to the needs of the first team, Real Madrid have only recently begun looking towards the youth market more closely. Los Blancos, who have been known to splash the cash on the profiles they need, are now increasingly investing in young talents, as is evidenced by the signings of Arda Güler, Franco Mastantuono and Endrick. Now, as relayed by Vgilli, Real Madrid have found their next youth target, and it is shockingly a player who currently plays for Barcelona. An academy gem. The player in question, who Real Madrid have their sights on, is Ebrima Tunkara, a 15-year-old talent in La Masia whose contract runs out in 2026. Despite being just 15, Tunkara is already seen as one of the academy's top prospects who can mark an era at the club, but Real Madrid plan to swoop him away before he develops any further in Catalonia. The teenager is capable of playing as both a midfielder and a left winger based on the team's need, and his versatility excites the merengues, who eye him as an ideal candidate to groom in the long haul. Barcelona, however, understandably refused to part ways with him. As it stands, the Blaugrana wish to fight and tempt the player with a renewal to stay and continue growing in the academy, which has seen several players hit the jackpot in the first team in recent years. With his contract running out in the summer, however, the ball is completely in Tunkara's court, for there is little doubt that Real Madrid's offer will be economically superior. The coming months will be crucial in deciding the 15-year-old star's future as he stares at complicated crossroads. On one side, he has a renewal proposal from his boyhood club, and on the other, a proposal to join their eternal rivals. Needless to say, it will be a complicated decision for him to make, especially given how the two clubs are historically arch-rivals. 3 things you might have missed from Barcelona's unforgettable comeback at Spotify Camp Nou. Barcelona's long-awaited return to the Spotify Camp Nou was always going to be emotional, but few could have predicted just how overwhelming the atmosphere would become. As thousands of fans streamed into the renovated stadium, many arrived with a mixture of excitement, nerves and nostalgia. For the first time in more than 2 years, supporters were back in the stands of their spiritual home, hoping that the night would mark the beginning of a new era. What followed was a performance worthy of the moment. From the opening whistle, Barcelona embraced the occasion with a level of intensity that mirrored the emotion in the stands. The supporters wanted a historic evening, and the team quickly obliged. Robert Lewandowski set the tone with the first goal, striking with the composure that has defined his time at the club. Ferran Torres then added the second before the break, and although another of his finishes was ruled out for offside, he ended the match with 2 goals after netting the 4th late on. Fermin Lopez, always full of energy and intent, provided the third just seconds into the second half. While the goals and the victory provided the headlines, the night was filled with lesser-noticed details that added their own charm to the occasion. Workers quietly witness history. One of the more unusual sights of the evening was the North Stand, still under construction and therefore completely empty. With the access areas unfinished, no supporters were allowed to sit behind the goal that Barcelona attacked during the second half. But that did not mean the stand was entirely deserted. A handful of workers, still in their reflective vests, were scattered throughout the incomplete sections of the stadium. One worker, sitting alone in the middle of the empty North Stand, looked almost regal as he took in the match. Others stood or sat in various unfinished corners, not actively working at that moment but still on duty. Their unexpected presence added a surreal, almost cinematic touch to the match, which is a reminder that even on a night of celebration, the rebuilding of the Camp Nou continues. There was also significant anticipation regarding how the crowd would respond to Nico Williams after the transfer saga of the summer. Many Barcelona supporters had not forgotten what happened, and their reaction was immediate and unmistakable. From his earliest touches, the stadium responded with loud whistles that followed him throughout the match. Even as the game began swinging heavily in Barcelona's favor, the whistles didn't fade. Instead, some pockets of supporters added a layer of sarcasm, chanting, "Nico, stay. Nico, stay," in a playful mocking tone. On the pitch, the winger struggled to influence the game. He did carve out a few shooting chances, including one that skimmed just past the post, but overall it was a frustrating night for him. If the match itself felt like a statement, the scenes at full time elevated the night into something unforgettable. The moment the referee blew the final whistle, Camp Nou erupted not only in applause but in a mesmerizing display of lights and fireworks. The newly upgraded lighting system transformed the sky into a choreography of colors, as supporters stood in awe of a stadium blending nostalgia with modern spectacle. After more than 900 days away, Barcelona did not just return to Camp Nou, they reclaimed it in every sense. The performance, the atmosphere and the celebrations combined into a night that felt like the beginning of a new chapter. Barcelona forced into tough decision as former youth team star with buyback clause begins to spark transfer noise. One of the many young Barcelona talents who left the club in the summer was Vgilli, who, despite being on Hansi Flick's radar, did not earn a direct place in his plans. He joined Mallorca for a fee of €3.5 million in what turned out to be a bargain for them. After all, he has been in fine form this season for them. Virgili has already racked up 5 starts and 8 appearances for Mallorca in La Liga and averages 57 minutes per game, earning the tag of a mainstay. He has provided 2 assists and created 5 big chances in that duration. An uncertain future. As it stands, all parties are gaining from Virgili's time away from Barcelona. For Mallorca, the player is delivering at a level far beyond what they invested in, while Barcelona will be pleased with his development and improved market value as they retain 50% of the player's rights and thus any future transfer fee. Given Mallorca's situation in La Liga, however, Sport confirmed that the youngster is not expected to leave them in the winter transfer market despite having attractive proposals at his doorstep. He will continue to help them fight for survival and stay afloat in the top division, but his departure in the summer is almost taken for granted. Several top European clubs have already taken notice of Virgili's talent and are looking to swoop him up at the earliest. While the player wishes to return to Catalonia and make his name, that appears unlikely given Barcelona's economic situation. At a time when the club are in need of registering income, 50% of the speculated €12 million Mallorca will make with his departure is a massive amount. Should Barcelona opt to use their right of first refusal, they will have to shell out an additional €3 million in addition to mathematically losing the fee they made through his departure. The situation thus is complicated. And that wraps up today's huge La Liga and El Clásico transfer update. Real Madrid's surprise move for Ebrima Tunkara could spark a new youth market battle. Barcelona are fighting to keep their most promising stars, and the Camp Nou comeback has reminded everyone of the club's unmatched spirit. As for Vgilli, Barcelona now face a difficult financial decision that could shape their summer plans. Keep him or cash in. The next few months will be crucial for all 3 stories, and we'll be here to bring you every twist as it happens. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss any Real Madrid and Barcelona breaking news. Comment below, should Tunkara join Madrid or stay with Barca?